Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a town that feels like it's right out of a Hallmark movie? Well, let me introduce you to Staunton. This hidden gem of a community is located just like 40 minutes right outside of Charlottesville. What I want you to do is I want you to picture cobblestone streets, quirky shops, incredible food, and a thriving art scene. Does this sound like it would be your kind of place? Stick around, because today I am giving you an insider's tour for this adorable small town. And yes, it is pronounced Staunton, not Staunton. But stick around, because I've got plenty of surprises to share, and it includes a Shakespearean twist you may never see coming. So exactly where is Staunton? Well, it's a small town located in the Shenandoah Valley, which is about 40 minutes outside of Charlottesville. It only has about 25,000 residents, so it's small but full of life. Think charming streets, local shops, and an artsy vibe that makes you feel instantly at home. So fun fact, Staunton is actually the birthplace to President Woodrow Wilson, and there's actually a library and museum dedicated to him right here. So history buffs, you are definitely going to love it here. Now, speaking of history, wait until we dive into some of Staunton's most beautiful architecture in just a minute. It's like honestly stepping back in time, but only in the best ways. One of the first things you're going to notice about Staunton is its historic charm. The downtown area is filled with beautifully preserved 19th century buildings, cobblestone streets, and little alleys that feel like they are straight out of a storybook. So one of the first things you're going to notice is the tremendous amount of historic charm almost everywhere you go in Staunton. No matter if you are, downtown, right now I'm just surrounded by beautiful 19th century buildings. There's cobblestone streets. There's little alleys that honestly look and feel like they're straight out of a storybook. Now, let's talk about what really sets Staunton apart from so many places. And for it to be such a small town, to me, it's a little bit strange, but it's actually home to Blackfriars Playhouse, a replica of the Shakespeare's indoor theater. If you are a fan of Bard, this is a bucket list place. It's not just Shakespeare. Staunton has art galleries, local artisans, and festivals that absolutely bring the whole community together. The Staunton Music Festival, amazing. You cannot miss it. Coming up, I will share where to get a great bite to eat and also some of the best shop. Because let's be honest, visiting a small town, what's the good in that unless you can do some cute shopping and get a great bite to eat? Come on, let's go. Foodies, you are gonna absolutely adore Staunton and the wide variety. Whether it's a piece of pizza, whether it is farm to table, there are so many amazing options. And if you wanna keep it nice and casual, well, we got you covered there too. For a casual vibe, Cranberry's Grocery and Eatery has the most coziest atmosphere. And if you were standing here now, you would understand what that cozy feeling would be like, because honestly, it is a cool and crisp morning. And yes, I'm running around in my Birkenstocks and my hands are absolutely freezing. Just coming over the mountain dropped the temperature about 10 degrees. Shopping here is just absolutely delightful. Some of the cutest toy stores, some of the cutest men's and women's, fabulous items, everything you could imagine, unique gifts and everything else. So tell me, do you have a favorite store or restaurant or place that we have to check out when going to Staunton, Virginia? I would absolutely love to know about it. As much as I'm over here, still you can find hidden gems every time you come. Shopping in Staunton is amazing. Right now I'm in one of my favorite stores, Latitude's Fair Trades, and honestly, last year I picked up an ornament that is one of my favorites because they just have the cutest stuff and it supports causes. Yay! Next thing I want to talk to you about Staunton is outdoor activities, because quite honestly, several people that have called me recently and we've met and talked about living in Charlottesville, that's a major reason. They're trying to either escape the outrageous heat or they're trying to escape the outrageous cold. And yes, Charlottesville is going to have that nice moderate temperature. Staunton is definitely going to run cooler, but still. So getting back to talking about the outdoors, if you love the outdoors, Staunton has you covered. I'm going to turn you around because I'm just walking around in Gypsy Hill Park. All the friends have come up to talk to me. See, this is the adventures you get to go on when you're with me. So right now I am at Gypsy Hill Park. Huge local favorite. It has walking trails. It has picnic spots. Everybody's out walking with their dogs. There's a mini train ride for the kids. There is so much going on. So really, whatever you want to do and enjoy, you can. Right now, they're setting up for a holiday lights festival. But still, there are so many people down and around the area just taking it in, because right now it's up to about low 30s. I'd say low 30s, maybe 32, 33, 34. But still, people are out with their dogs. Obviously, our feathered friends are thinking that it is a fine time. I'll show you why they're here, because anybody who walks up, see, this is what happens when but you can walk up. Now, the water is restricted so that you can't fall in and you can't do anything. But see, when I turn you around, it has the little feeder station right here. And they know that. They all know that because they are just right here. Quite the variety too. Look how pretty. They are pretty sure that they have not been fed in decades. Also, I'm going to turn you around because in case you didn't see it, do you see the little houses? They have little duck houses over on the island for them. That is so stinking cute. Huge favorite among everyone here. The other thing is as I'm bebopping between, like when I came here, it was less than half a mile from our last destination. So please don't think that these are all long and spread out. Staunton, obviously full of hills. It does have public transportation. And yes, there's some areas you can definitely walk, but it's going to be fairly car dependent, especially depending on the time of the year. Now, for the rest of my adventurers that are beyond a park, do remember, short drive away from the Shenandoah National Park and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I mean, I've done several sunrises out on the Blue Ridge, and honestly, it's probably like nature. I would call it like nature's coffee, because you're just sitting there and you're watching, taking a sunrise hike, and it's just stunning and beautiful. All right, so let's say goodbye to our friends and we will take off and see what's up next. So a big thing that I do love about Staunton is the way that it just feels like you've lived here your whole life. It has a huge sense of community, and you're walking down the street, people are friendly, they're welcoming. It's genuinely, they look out for each other. It's the kind of place where you walk into a cafe and the barista already knows what your order is. So if that's important to you, then Staunton may be a really, really good fit. And again, that's why you need to reach out. You would just not know about some of these amazing homes. And yes, again, I'm going to turn you around, there are rentals. This has actually been broken up into apartments. Can you imagine? Absolutely stunning. I don't do rentals, remember that. But otherwise, give me a call and we will find your new Staunton home. Let's keep going. So that brings me to reminding you about the honest truth. The honest truth is there are no perfect places. Even in such a quaint, adorable, picturesque community such as Staunton, there are things that, so as I told one of my clients, it's my job, especially working with you, that I need to play the little devil's advocate on your shoulder. Now, in fairness, I am going to play the little angel as well and point things out on both sides. So here's the little devil pointing out the things with Staunton. Again, I love Staunton, but you have to remember the community here is warm and inviting. There are some challenges that you need to recognize before deciding to move here. One is Staunton's small size can mean very limited options for certain amenities. Now, we've seen they do have a public bus. We've seen that they obviously have many community amenities such as Gypsy Hill Park, of course, fire, rescue, all of that is going to be set. But if you're used to having lots of entertainment venues, shopping malls, things such as that within minutes, then I'm going to tell you right now, Staunton is not going to be a good fit for you. While Staunton is charming, peaceful, and to some people might feel it is too quiet, okay? Especially if you're someone who craves a fast-paced city environment. I mean, right now, it is a weekday and that I'm out here, and you can see how peaceful and quiet it is. If you really want that movement, that energy, then Staunton might not be right for you. So if that's the kind of bustling environment you need, or those are the kind of services that you are seeking, then realistically, you're gonna need to expect to have to travel to Charlottesville, which, like I said, is about 40 minutes away. Charlottesville will give you more nightlife, more specialty health care, and more, honestly, for shopping, I'm gonna say Staunton might have more than Charlottesville at this point. Since Charlottesville's lost the mall and has, I think, limited shopping, Staunton, I would say, is probably on par, especially with their downtown. It might not be a pedestrian downtown, but their downtown is, all the storefronts are full, and it is anything and everything that you could want. And then, of course, you're probably, not necessarily, but probably gonna have to travel, if you don't wanna travel to Charlottesville, where are you gonna work? Because if your job's in Charlottesville, you're not gonna have a choice. If you're gonna work in Staunton, great, yay, hurrah, but then what are you gonna do? Because it's not gonna have the number and sizes of employment that Charlottesville is going to have. Now, there are small colleges around here, so there is still lots and lots of opportunities. Do not get me wrong. Don't be writing into me. Don't be calling my friends and family and being like, Pam is being mean to Staunton. I'm not. I'm just trying to make sure that you know the ins and outs, the pros and cons, because you're not here, and I want you to know whether or not we should leave this on your list. Another thing that you really need to consider is going to be Staunton's age, okay? The historic buildings that we love so much also mean older infrastructure. So as we've seen about the welcome to Staunton, welcome to historical Staunton, All of that is going to be across the board. It's not just beautiful homes, but it's going to include the infrastructure. So things such as, not necessarily roads, because those are constantly updated, but things such as water, sewer, all of those kind of things are going to have age to them. It can also, one of the other things is that I haven't shown you, is one of the quirks in this area is actually narrow streets, especially in some of the historic neighborhoods, because obviously the houses were built on both sides and the road was needing nothing more than a certain space. And then if you added sidewalks, those roads can be very, very narrow. The other aspect of that is parking. Street parking is plentiful, but it's not everywhere. So you have to keep these things in mind. The other thing with living here, like we talked about before, is the housing, the age of the houses here. Yes, there are homes, you can get brand new construction, not a problem. You can get homes built past 2000, not a problem. But predominantly, most of the houses are going to have age on them. I would say over 50 years of age. That in itself is going to lead to natural need for care and upkeep, okay? So there's your little devil on that part with housing in and around, and one of the things about it. But here's the thing, even with these imperfections, and they might give some people pause, they're also what gives Staunton its character. Life here isn't about perfection. It's about finding a pace and a place that feels right for you. And if you're ready to embrace a slower, simpler lifestyle with all the charm of a small town, those little quirks might just become the actual things that you love the most. Now, with that said, let's talk about one of the biggest factors when considering a move, and that is going to be the real estate market. And let's talk about some of the houses that are on the market currently, because I want to give you a good idea of that as well. Next up, let's talk about real estate. Now, hands down, property in Staunton is going to be varied. You're going to have everything from 1800s all the way up to 2024. Right now, I'm standing in front of one that is currently on the market. So this is actually built in 1900 and it's got a metal roof and everything. It is actually listed for $200,000. But you can see that, I mean, you would never find anything like that in Charlottesville. A couple of things about it, I will flat out say, this is being sold where is as is, or as is where is, meaning inspections are going to be for your information purposes only. No matter what you find, the seller is probably not going to fix anything. Obviously, that's always up for discussion, but again, this house is 124 years old. You know there's going to be issues. It's one of the things about the charms with this kind of a house. Now, homes in Staunton, definitely more affordable than in Charlottesville. And you'll find everything from really charming bungalows to, major historic estates. It's also, quite honestly, one of the places that you're really going to start to see a lot of commuters to the Charlottesville area. It's perfect for people who want to commute for the simple fact that it is, again, just 40 minutes over the mountain from Charlottesville. So you can, whether you're in tech or medical or science, whatever it is, your job's in Charlottesville, but you want a quieter, simpler life where with a 100-year-old house, then it's really not that far for you to be driving to Staunton. So now that you have seen some of the houses, what are you thinking? You thinking maybe Staunton should be on your list? Well, do remember, lots of options. I think there are houses here for everything from just under $200,000 all the way up to several $1 million. And we're going to look at a couple of those. So we just saw the one for under $200,000 being sold as is, where is. There's also going to be rentals. So the home behind me is actually on the market right now. It's $1.2 million. The street is filled with gorgeous homes. Let me tell you a little bit about the special home behind me. $1.2 million, built in 1880. 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. It is over 5,300 square feet. Brick exterior, hardwood floors, 4 fireplaces still in use. Absolutely stunning. And you would never find that in Charlottesville. And if you could find it in Charlottesville, it would not, well, you could find it, but it would not be $1.2 million. So if you think this might be your new home, give me a call. All right, let's see what else we can find. So in talking about real estate, I wanted to let you know what I had found out. So right now, when I'm filming this, I pulled up everything in Staunton that is available. So again, this is only going to catch the zip codes that are under Staunton. Right now, there are 54 current active listings. From the 54, the prices go from everything from $165,000. To give you an idea, that's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and it is built in 1960. It has been on the market almost a month. So on the other end of the spectrum is an interesting one because it looks like it is a dual lot, so it might be an extremely large home, but it would have to be. It could be 2 separate homes, but it's one listing. It is, get ready for this, over 9,000 square feet, okay? So if you need a place and you need room to move, we can fix you up. It has 12 bedrooms, and wait for it, 12 and a half bathrooms. But get this, here's the price. It's been on the market for about 2 months. The price is $3,450,000, and it's a 1926 home. So let's figure that. I mean, that's pretty good square footage for $3.45 million. So again, if any of this is resonating with you, then we might have to leave Staunton on your list. All right, so you think this might be a great idea or a perfect location for your next move? Then you need to give me a call. There are going to be rentals, and rentals are plentiful. Remember, I don't do rentals, but if you want to put Staunton on the books, then we'll be able to find lots and lots of options. I have been touring around Staunton all day, and I'm going to try to get home before the sun goes down. It's really not a bad drive. Like I said, I'm going to hop on 81. Think of Staunton as the intersection between 81 and 64. That might give you a better idea. But I'm going to hop on 81 for a minute and then just hop over onto 64 East, and I'll be in Charlottesville in less than 45 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed today. Staunton is a uniquely hidden gem, from its historic charm to its artsy vibe and strong sense of community. It's a little town, but with a lot to offer, and just over the mountain, 40 minutes from Charlottesville. I mean, seriously. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Living in Charlottesville and hit the bell so you don't miss anything as I release it. And check out my other videos. I have not done anything else on Staunton, but I've done several on Waynesboro, which would be just the next town over. And of course, I've done lots and lots on Charlottesville and all around Charlottesville. Check them out. And let me know what I can help you with. If you have a suggestion, if you want to see a certain area, if you have questions, whatever it is, leave a comment below. And I swear to you, I do read the comments and I try to respond to all of them. Would really appreciate your thumbs up. It's been more interesting than normal here in Staunton because I don't know. I don't know why, but everybody who's walked past me as I'm like giving you the tour and talking about Staunton has been stopping and talking to me and asking me about it. Just going in shopping, the person at the counter was actually asking me, I wasn't filming, but it was asking me about my mic. So I would love to know that you have been here with me as well. And I thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.